Once you've made the decision to become more efficient as a business, how do you take the next step? For many businesses, finding the right advice is a critical first step. If you don't find someone with good knowledge, though, it can be a real barrier to getting started on your efficiency push. So, how do you go about finding the right expert to give you advice about materials efficiency and energy efficiency? How do you ensure that you maximise your financial savings? In this case study, I talked to a Victorian business about their experience in finding the right consultant and how they went about it. And here in Sydney, I met the Energy Efficiency Council to get their input on the best ways to choose an energy auditor. We start this report with Terry Kay from RPM Pipe in Victoria. RPM Pipe has been making pipes out of recycled plastic since the late 1990s in their factory in northern Victoria. Their innovative process uses 100% recycled HDPE that's been made from reprocessed milk and detergent bottles. RPM's commitment to R&D has continued to this day. Given he invented his own recycling process, we asked RPM Pipe Director Terry Kay how he found a consultant who could assist him in finding efficiencies.
In the early days of our manufacturing, we were fortunate enough to do some R&D with Visy Recycling, and in that I met a guy called Ed Kozier. He's a material scientist. Since then, Ed had moved on to do his own consultancy business, and he's mainly based in the UK. I hadn't spoken to him about 15 years, so I just sent him an email asking him what he was up to and what I was after, and we're lucky enough that he had a guy work for him in Australia, Kelvin Davies, and we met up at a recycling expo in Melbourne, and through a meeting we decided that they had some of the expertise we were after, and so far it's been a very good partnership.
The consultant came in with a fresh pair of eyes and had fresh insights into how RPM's business could be run more efficiently. We asked Terry whether his team responded well to the consultant's input.
Yeah, they did respond well. When you bring in a consultant, it's actual facts, and if you can sit down and show them the reasons why you're changing your process and the results you're going to get from it, they were more than willing to change, which was very helpful.
For many companies looking to become more efficient, the advice and help that's available from local and state government can be very important. RPM Pipe were no different.
It was very important. We found up to 25% efficiency material gains to be had, and without the support of Victorian Government through Sustainability Victoria, we just wouldn't have been able to identify those key areas.
Having gone through the experience of an assessment, Terry has advice for other companies who want to start their own efficiency push.
My advice would be to be open and honest with the consultant so that he gets all the facts and figures that he requires to build the correct report, so that it is going to be a benefit to your business.
When it comes to making the changes that were recommended by his consultant, Terry says that implementing them is an ongoing process.
We've implemented a few of the smaller items that along the way, and we are in the process of implementing one of the biggest items, but it's a fair investment for the company. So it's a bit of a process.
The journey may be ongoing, but at the end of the process, RPM Pipe should be able to reduce their energy and material costs by a quarter.
Hopefully we save 25% on our material and energy usage, and with the purchase of some new equipment we should be able to achieve that.
As we heard from RPM Pipe, saving energy is a key part of any business's efficiency drive. I met up with Rob Murray-Leach from the Energy Efficiency Council to get their input on the best ways to choose an energy consultant. I started by asking him whether there was much difference in the quality of energy audits that can be carried out.
Unfortunately, there's a huge difference in the quality of audits. I've seen a lot of audits that are really just not worth the paper they're written on, dot points of recommendations without any costings that have not identified the major energy savings on that site. On the other hand, you can have an incredibly comprehensive audit that delivers hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of savings. So, yeah, huge difference in quality.
Now, from a quality control point of view, is there a standard for energy audits?
Well, luckily there is. A couple of years ago, we participated with the governments and a range of key parties to develop a standard for audits. There's actually three parts. There's one for commercial buildings, one for industrial sites, and one for transport. The key component of those audits, they actually set out the technical requirements that you need to do to deliver a quality audit. So if you follow the audit standard, you should get a quality audit.
For people watching now who haven't done an energy audit before, how do they go about finding a good energy auditor?
The first place to look is on a number of websites that have got information. We have a website, the Energy Efficiency Council, you can go to that. There's also the Energy Efficiency Exchange run by the federal government, and there's also websites in South Australia, Victoria and New South Wales.
What kind of experience should an energy auditor have?
The most important thing for an energy auditor is to be able to actually deliver energy savings. So people who can tell you what's wrong with your site but have no idea actually how to deliver those savings, how to install that equipment, they basically have no knowledge and they are not of any use to you. So we strongly recommend that people engage energy auditors who have experience. For commercial building upgrades, there is the Energy Efficiency Certification Scheme, and that tells if people have the comprehensive end-to-end knowledge to deliver an energy efficiency upgrade.
And what experience should an energy auditor have when it comes to actually giving recommendations?
The most important experience is that they've done it themselves before. So they've been involved in an upgrade to a building before, they've installed equipment, they've seen the results, they've corrected mistakes, and then they're going to do it again to you. So the first thing I'd say is, have they done a site similar to yours before? That will give you the advice about whether they're going to give you useful information.
How do people actually get started with an energy auditor? What should they ask them to do? What's a reasonable price?
First thing is to talk to them about what you need, what are your businesses, what's your process. Second thing we always recommend is really go for level 2 energy audit. That's called a detailed energy audit, and that will give you business grade investment information. So information that you need to know, if I invest this, I'll get this result. One of our members recently did an audit for a commercial laundry. The audit cost $20,000. That upgrade will now be delivering about $500,000 worth of savings over the next 5 years.
When it comes to getting money-saving recommendations, what should people expect to get at the end of an energy audit?
They should expect to get a detailed set of recommendations that tells them how much energy is your site using at the moment, where's the energy use going, where's it wasted, and then some detailed recommendations. The one thing I would say is don't look for just the obvious things. It's not just lighting. The most important thing is integration across all your energy using systems, and particularly a focus on those parts of your site that use the most energy.
As you just saw, choosing the right consultant is critical for any business that wants to save money by becoming more efficient. On seeing what companies have done in this space, I found 3 key things that other businesses can learn from. First up, if you're initiating an efficiency drive, talk to your local economic development officer or liaise with your industry group. They may have the names of experts and auditors who can help your company to become more energy efficient and more efficient with your use of materials. Secondly, undertake an energy audit. This will give you a baseline from which you can measure your energy efficiency improvements. Finally, if you're new to energy efficiency, download the book Energy Cut. It's free of charge and it gives you a plain English guide to becoming energy efficient in your operations. It can be downloaded from energycut.com.au/SME-book.
Smart Money's case studies have been developed with assistance from the New South Wales Office of Environment and Heritage and Sustainability, Victoria.